Now, Rory reflects on his 2023 Scottish Open victory in A Look Back in Time, brought to you by Omega.
4 for a playoff, 3 for a win. Only been 2 birdies all day at the 18th.
With this hard wind in your face, you've got to strike this so precisely to find the green. You really have. 25 mile an hour wind straight at him.
I mean, with this wind, you've got to probably add 30 yards to the number, don't you, Dottie?
I like that.
Here we go. 4 to tie, 3 to win.
Oh, look at this. Sensational.
What a shot, Rory McIlroy.
Never got above 10 feet off the ground, never left the flag. My goodness.
My God. How good was that?
Yeah.
All right, Rory, that's a spectacular shot. That's got to be one of the better shots you've hit in your career. I mean, you've hit so many amazing shots, but that's got to be up there. Under pressure to win a tournament, 2-iron in your hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in the situation, with the way the conditions were,
a little headwind, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I would say it was a 4-club wind. I mean, the yardage I had was 201, which to me is a 6-iron, and I hit a 2-iron. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a 4-club wind, and I think just to execute that shot, because like, as you know, and a lot of people at home, like when you get into such a heavy headwind, it just exacerbates what the ball does. You put any side spin on it, you put, so like you have to be so much more precise when you've got a wind like that, and then to be able to execute the shot, hit it exactly the way I wanted to under those circumstances, it was really cool.
That's really cool. Now, I mean, just the strategy, the thought process to even come to the fact that this is a 4-club win. I mean, that's got to be a wild conversation between you and Harry, your caddy. I mean, if you can give us some of the details of that.
Yeah, so I had one, I think it was like 180 to the front. Again, I hit my 4-iron like 235.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I feel like I could get 4-iron to the front and like hopefully it can chase on and maybe I'd have like 30 feet or 40 feet up the green.
Yeah.
But like once I got over, so I had 4-iron in my hand and I'm hitting a different shot, right? I'm trying to hit like this hard like rope hook to try to get as much out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm over the 4-iron and I'm over it and I just feel this wind on my left cheek and I'm like, I just don't think this is getting there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can see this getting there. So I backed off and then I tried to reset and be like, no, like I stupidly waited for like a lull in the wind that wasn't gonna come.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
It's like,
so
we're waiting.
I took my 3-iron out of the bag that week to put an extra wedge in and then to carry a 2-iron. So I think in a way it was a blessing in disguise because I would have just went to the 3-iron and probably would have came up where I thought the 4-iron was going to come up, like 30 feet, and then that's a really difficult putt to hole for the win. So I switched to 2-iron, and I was the first shot with the 4-iron. I was seeing this like rope hook off the right side, and then with the 2-iron, I couldn't do that. I had to go the other way, so I hit like this little like gentle cut. And then to try to control the ball flight with that left to right shot, I think that's just the technicality of trying to play that shot and pulling it off is what I was proudest of. But because
that's a tricky shot because you're trying to flight it and you're probably maybe playing it back in your stance, but that can make you almost want to draw it more in a way.
Yeah, so I think I was lucky. The ball, if anything, was slightly below my feet, so it was helping me it was helping me go that way. Whereas with the draw with the 4-iron, I was sort of trying to fight the slope a little bit. But yeah, it was an amazing shot, and I mean, on the 17th tee, I was just praying for a playoff. If I could birdie one of the last 2, I would have been ecstatic with that, and then to finish it off the way I did was it was really cool.
I mean, to me, it's so interesting because there's the sort of the analytical side of it of like, okay, this is what we think the wind's doing. But then when you got over the shot, there was so much like instinct and feel.
Intuition,
A great shot really is like a mini miracle, right? That is like accounting for all these variables that you're not even
you're not even aware of. Yeah, and you probably don't want to be aware of them either. So
that's cool.
It is. It's the calculation, and that's based on previous experience from that day, and like, okay, the wind is like the last time I played an into the wind hole, this is how far this went, this is, so you've got all these calculations going on, But once you get over the ball, it's like you sort of throw it all out the window.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I just don't feel like this gets there. I feel like this is so. And I think that's why, I always go back to like trusting my instinct, trusting my, like my first sort of, reaction, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really important.
That's awesome. Can you hit this low Caddy 2-iron for us?
Yeah. So when I try to hit like the low, I know I don't, not a lot of people use 2-irons, so I don't know who I'm really talking to here, but.
The low 2-iron too, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. So the one thing I try to do is I try to get a little more upright in my posture, so I stand a little closer to it. And then usually I just try to keep my right side like nice and high to like level out my angle of attack. So let's see if I can do it here.
Oh, that is cool. That is beautiful. And to 10 feet, just like in the tournament.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you knew 100% you were going to make that putt.
No, I putting in 40 mile or 30 miles an hour wind is not easy. So yeah. I hit that putt and I thought there was a chance it was going to miss, and thankfully it went in the left side. So that was nice.
A little help from the wind on the
putt. A little
help
from the wind, exactly.
All right, so most of us mortals, we're not hitting a 2-iron ever. We don't even have a 2-iron in our bag usually, right?
Yep. Neither do I usually.
But I think the club that we typically love to hit from like longer distances that most people have in their bag is like a fairway wood of some sort.
Yep.
So we have a question.
Okay.
Hello, Rory. This is Joe Carlson from Hanover, Pennsylvania. Just wondering, how do you make such good contact with your 3-wood? I tried putting my ball in the back of my stance, up above my stance, and I just can't make really good contact. And I was just wondering if there's a way to do that where I can get more consistency. Thank you.
All right. Fairway woods.
Yeah, fairway woods. Yeah, like notoriously hard to hit from the deck, right? Even, us pros we're not, we'll do it when we need to, but it's certainly not our favorite shot to hit. So I'll get a fairway wood and I'll try to help our man out here. So for me, off the deck with a fairway wood, the one thing that I always think about is trying to keep my head level the same. I think people, they go down, they go up, and I just think that there's so little margin for error hitting a fairway wood off the deck that for me, if I just feel like I keep the level of my head consistent through my swing, that's the easiest way for me to ensure that at least I make decent contact with fairway wood.
Ball position, forward, back.
Yeah,
middle.
definitely. I definitely not back. Not with a club. I would say, with a 3-wood, it's a, the more back it goes, the more down you're going to want to hit it, and that's not, like an iron is designed to go through the turf. A fairway wood is meant to sweep it off the top of the grass. So I would say more to the front of your stance than the back. You wouldn't want it all the way off the front, but I mean, I don't know, a couple inches inside your left heel.
Because you're probably not actually trying to hit up on it per se, but just pretty level.
Pretty level, and I think, I think a lot of people, because there's not a lot of loft in a fairway wood, they try to help it.
Yeah.
And then they'll scoop it and they'll hit behind it. So, again, trying to stay pretty centered and pretty level.
Yeah.
That would sort of be my tip to try to hit a fairway wood.
Will you ever take a divot with a 3-wood?
I don't.
Yeah.
I know some people do. For me, I find it more comfortable to just sort of to sweep it.
Gotcha.
And not to go down after it.
Yeah. All right, can we see one?
Yeah, for sure. Let's try to stay nice and level.
That is beautiful. High smoked 3-wood. Awesome.
Yeah, take that.
Thank you, Rory.
Thank you.
Joe, thank you for your question, and hopefully that helps you with your own 3-wood play.